You booze. Some television news today. ABC and CBS announced already their new fall television schedules, if you can imagine. The NBC network has not yet finalized its... Well, you see, Fred Silverman has a unique problem. He can't decide whether to schedule new programs or just keep the old ones on until somebody sees them. Oh, I'm playing dangerous tonight, aren't I? Yeah. No, there were a lot of cancellations. Shows that have been on a long time, though. The CBS canceled Barnaby Jones. The Stockard Channing show, The Contender, Hawaii Five-0. It's been on 12 years. Good show. But you see, networks are cruel the way they break the news to a star. The way Jack Lord found out that he was through was the network stopped the payments on the earthquake insurance that protects his face. Free. This is called Mr. Cruel Night, isn't it? There's some good news and bad news. The good news is that the Hunt brothers are in Washington testifying before Congress, and the bad news is they forgot to hide the silverware. There was another quote today from Iran's foreign minister, Gospodadeh, who said, referring to the Iranian hostages in London, you know what he said, and I quote, "We will not submit to blackmail." That's because they're too busy perpetrating it. That's why they won't submit. Ridiculous. Where's he at? As you know, riots yesterday broke out in London at the Iranian embassy, and the police came up with a great idea to disperse the crowd. They hired Tom Jones to sing all the nominated songs from the Oscar show. And that broke it up quick. You know, we are now in what is called Sweeps Month in our business. Are you familiar with what Sweeps Months are in television? 4 times a year, television goes a little crazy. Nobody understands why, except... Well, they're crazy, I'm telling you. I'm talking crazy. What they do during, I think, May, November, February, is that February. It? They have what they call sweep weeks. And the ratings that the stations get around the country during that time determines the amount that the stations charge their advertisers. So the local stations and the networks go all out during the sweeps period to put on extra shows just to get viewers. And we're in one of them now. As a matter of fact, you'll see such exciting specials coming up in May as, for example, one is Leonard Nimoy goes in search of Robert Wagner and Natalie Wood's Prophets. Will be one. Jessica Savage is going to do the weekend news wearing an Ayatollah mask. And on different strokes, Gary Coleman will defend himself in a paternity suit accused of fathering LaWanda Page's child. That's some of the shows on Sweep Weeks. That seems to be the last joke in the monologue, unfortunately. I told you you could have had a V8, but you wanted the monologue. We have a good show now. We have a minute.
Well, I was enjoying that sketch. That was one of the funniest things I ever seen.
You really like that?
I spilled things all over myself laughing. Very amusing. Did you write that, or did you have people come in
We actually
from
had
home?
people come in from home, wrote that down on paper. Yeah.
It was funny.
Well, we give it a shot.
I think humor is so important in our day-to-day. What's going on these days?
It's kind of the international language, isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
It's what Miss America always says, you know.
She said that.
Yes, music. I just want my music to speak for me.
Did I win? Who's the judge?
I love watching beauty pageants. There was one on a couple of weeks ago. It was on, I don't think it was on National, but the Miss World or something. And they're fascinating to watch.
Funny.
They're funny. I don't know
funny
why.
Stuff.
So you're on vacation also now?
Yes, I'm on vacation.
I just said that.
What?
I just said you were on vacation.
I'm on vacation. We're off for a while. I'm going to go to Europe.
Now, this is it. This is what
You
we
were talking about that,
before,
about not
about
getting recognized.
people who go there. But your show, you told me, plays in England.
Plays in England. I want to get to England. First thing I'm going to do is look for Jews. I want to go to every Jewish neighborhood in Europe. I would love to go to London and meet, because the show, Steve, like your show very much. Hi, I'm Goldberg. Like you come over Friday night for a nice kosher dinner. I love that. I would love to go to, we're going to go to Rome. We might go to Rome and into a synagogue in Rome. What's the matter? You come in here, you don't wear yarmulke? How come you come in here in a shul without a hat? What's the matter with you? It's true, though, because I told you this before. I grew up in New York. This is talking, forget about Europe. Was that for growing up?
That's just for growing up in New York.
Thank you.
Surviving.
Yes, surviving in New York. Now it's a piece of cake. Nothing to it. But anyway, I said when I grew up in New York, I had no idea that, till I got on the road, that there were Jews all over America. I had no.
Thought it was just in New York.
I didn't know. I mean, and I still cannot picture Southern Jews.
Yeah, that's always been a little mind-boggling.
It is. I know that out there. I can't see somebody in Greenville, Mississippi during the high holidays. Esther, you going to temple or what? God sake, it's late, almost yon tear. Oh, don't give me that. You always late. You was late last week for the Hadassah? Yeah, all over. Somebody told me he was in Korea, and they got a... You see Korean Jews. Oh, happy Rosh Hashanah. Soon gonna be Yom Kippur. That's not easy. Don't eat all day, get a damn headache. I was seriously thinking about conversion, like my brother Wang Fu.
You're slightly warped. Slightly.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, slightly warped.
You know, you work. I used to work in the mountains, in the Catskill Mountains, which is predominantly Jewish.
Right.
And occasionally you'll meet a guy that works there who's a maitre d' who the words come, the guy's not Jewish. Hey, how you doing? He says, I tell you, we was, you can't figure this business out. Pesach, we was jammed. Rosh Hashanah, you couldn't get in here. Sukkot and Purim, nothing.
Tip off right away, huh?
You know the guy's not Jewish.
Are you going to go to France?
France is, we're going to go to London, then we're going to go to Rome, and then we're going to go to Paris. And Paris is a very romantic city.
Yeah.
And I've never been to any of these places.
None?
No. The thing that fascinates me about France, though, is that the attitudes they have about passion and romance, and they're basically the same, but if a guy came home in this country and found his wife with another man, or another woman, whatever he found,
right,
and he shot him, it would be a crime of passion. The jury would probably let him go.
Yeah.
You take that same guy, that same situation in France, not only would they let him go, they'd probably give him a prize. Well, they have different attitudes over there. Pierre Laforge, you are charged with the murder of your wife and her lover. What do we have for him, Bob?
Johnny Olsen, what do we have?
The Bendix washing machine and new freezer.
So you're going over there to the city of romance.
Yeah,
I assume you're probably taking somebody with you on that trip.
Yes, a young boy. That's so. He begged me. Please let me go in. No, I'm going with my lady. We're going to go over there.
That's nice.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes.
When you grew up, how old were you before you got out of New York City? A lot of kids I met when I was in the service, I was stationed at Columbia University Midshipman School for a while, and I would meet kids in New York. And then when you're from the Midwest, New York is, like another world, sophistication. And you'd go to New York and you'd find people who had never been out of New York City, and sometimes had lived in Brooklyn, who maybe once and twice in their life had gone to Manhattan, literally. And I found that so hard to believe. They'd say, well, I've never been in Times Square. And I'd say, what?
And they call that the city.
And they'd say,
they're going to New York. Like
they're going to the city.
It's the same place.
How old were you before you actually got out of...
I got out first time a couple of weeks ago.
Did I set you up all right on this?
Yeah, that was fine set up.
Yeah.
No, I got out, well, even when I went into the service, I was at Fort Dix, which was New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I really didn't. I came out here a long time ago just to visit and to see what it was like out here. So I went out, I think, in my early 20s was my first trip out of here.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what's this somebody told me about you? You're doing something in music or what?
Well, you've seen me come on the show many times and do, like, Barry White or a country singer.
Yes.
And the first time I ever did so, I did a singing cowboy here. And I had no idea, to me it was just another bit. And I was doing it on a special. A lady called me up, and she was the music lady. She said, did you write The Fastest Gun in the West? And I built the railroad by my damn self. So I laughed, because to me it's a bit. She says, if you join ASCAP, every time you go on television, you can get money for it.
That's right.
So I found out I was a songwriter. The first time, at that time, the first time I did it, there was a singing cowboy audition. Do you remember that? They had it here?
Absolutely.
And they were looking for a guy to be like a Gene Autry, Roy Rogers.
They had literally 1,000 people coming out here.
Yeah, so I did a bit on it. I had no idea I was writing music. I did 3 guys. I did the first, because I saw it on the news, the first guy was a real cowboy. He'd come on, he says, well, this is the audition. He says, well, I just heard about this down the bunkhouse. Curly, the cook, told me about it. I don't usually pay no never mind to Curly, because he's a little off, because he's deranged. Well, he's a moron. A horse kicked him in the head. He thinks he's the president of Lincoln. He goes around the ranch freeing all the colored boys. You free, boys, go ahead. You free. The hell, they think they got laid off. But there was no music in that one.
Yeah.
I got no credit. No money, no credit.
There's no money there.
So then I did a guy who, a lot of history in the Old West. A lot of people don't know there's a lot of history.
Oh, I know it.
So, of course, you know. What don't you know, John? So a man come out and said, a lot of people don't know that there was black cowboys. My great-grandfather was the first black cowboy. Built the railroad by his damn self. So I wrote this little song about it, entitled, He Built the Railroad by His Damn Self. That was my great-grandfather's name, he. I still haven't gotten to the music. And then the music would say, well, he rode through the West with a hammer and a trestle, and White and him drinking nothing, had a horse named Blue. There you talking about my time's up. What you mean my time's up? I come in all the way from Compton. So that was my first song.
That was the first one.
Then I did a show business type. Because every audition has show business types. And this guy sang, what the hell was it? This guy sang, I love the West. I love the West. I love to buck the Broncos. Thank you, God bless you. All right, I love the West. I love to buck the Broncos. I'm the Durango Kid. I'm the fastest gun in the West. I'm the fastest gun in the West. I'm the fastest gun in the West. I'm the best. I'm the best. What do you mean my time's up? I have another song about ranching.
That's music. Now,
That's
you see,
music,
if you
yes.
have those songs registered right now,
I got 'em.
You'll receive some kind of money for singing that
Good bread.
that
boy.
junk on the air tonight. You'll actually pay you money for that.
That's right. I got it.
Could I do my hit from Teenage Werewolf? If I get